Hello, today is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Let's read this article coming from AP. The title is Japan's first female leader is an ultra-conservative star from a male-dominated party. Mary Yamaguchi, Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Right, Japan politics. Japan Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, front center, right? Front center. And her new cabinet members pose for the group photo in Tokyo, October 21st, 2025. Tokyo. Sanae Takaichi, a star of ultra-conservative Japanese politics and a rare woman to rise in its male-dominated hierarchy, has been elected the country's first female prime minister. Takaichi, 64, is also the first woman to lead the Liberal Democratic Party that has dominated Japan's post-war politics almost without interruption. She admires former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and is a proponent of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's conservative vision for Japan. A China hawk, right? She doesn't like China. China, like a hawk, hawkish. China hawk, that's a good expression. A China hawk. She is a regular at Yasukuni Shrine, seen by China, the two Koreas and other Asian victims of Japan's World War II aggression, as a place that glorifies the country's wartime past. That's bad, man. That's bad. A leader of a country that ranks poorly internationally for gender equality, Takaichi had rarely mentioned the issue during the campaign. She did remark after winning the presidency of the ruling party. Now that the LDP has its first female president, its scenery will change a little. First elected to parliament from her hometown of Nara in 1993, Nara has a very strong Korean background. Nara means a country in Korean, so that's why our ancestors who moved to Nara like 1,000 or 2,000 years ago, they called it Nara, with a homesickness about Korea, right? So they called it Nara. She served in key party and government posts, including Minister of Economic Security, Internal Affairs, and Gender Equality, though her diplomatic experience is thin. That's a good expression. Thin, right? Though her diplomatic experience is thin, she has called for a stronger military, more physical spending for growth, promotion of nuclear fusion, cybersecurity, and tougher policies on immigration. Takaichi is known hard worker. As a student, Takaichi was a drummer in a heavy metal band and rode a motorcycle. Tough. She says she's a workaholic who would rather work at home than go out and socialize. But after two unsuccessful bids to lead the LDP, she says she's made efforts to build more connections with colleagues. She asked all party lawmakers to work like a horse. I will abandon the word work-life balance. I will work, and work, she said in comments that sparked strong, if mixed, online reactions, struggling for recognition in the male-dominated party. Female lawmakers in the LDP have often been passed over for ministerial posts or being pushed aside if they spoke up about diversity and gender equality. women hold only about 15% of the seats in Japan's lower house, the more powerful of the two parliamentary chambers. Only 2 of Japan's 47 prefectural governors are women. Takaichi has avoided talking about gender issues in the past, sticking with old-fashioned views favored by male party heavyweights. She had vowed to significantly increase the number of women in her government, but on Monday she appointed just 2 as ministers and the third as one of her 3 special aides. She supports the imperial family's male-only succession and opposes both same-sex marriage and amending the 19th century law that requires married couples to have the same surname. Okay, so Japan uses the husband's name if you're married to him, right? That's very un-Asian. In China, Taiwan, and Korea, we just continue to use our own family name, even though you are married. Mr. Takaichi's policies are extremely hawkish, and I doubt she would consider policies to recognize diversity, said Chiyako Sato, a political commentator and senior writer for the Mainichi newspaper. Apparently, because of her views on gender and diversity, support for Takaichi among women is lower than that of men in media surveys, Sato said. Still, many see her breaking the class ceiling in politics as progress. Takayuki Eguchi, a 62-year-old Tokyo resident, said he had doubted that a woman would ever get to be prime minister, and said her election created hope and expectation given the difficulty women still face in Japan. I really hope she serves for a long time, and that the political stagnation we've been seeing finally starts to move, and that things improves in Japan and in the eyes of the world, Eguchi said. The prime ministers are hard-right views on history and security. I'll just stop here and snooze.